Hey guys, in this lesson we would understand what is arc length of a circle, when an angle is subtended in the circle, and how to do problems related to it. Let's say we have a circle and this is the center of the circle. We know distance from the center of the circle to the circumference of the circle is called the radius of the circle. If let's say we start moving on the circumference of the circle, so we start from here and then we stop here. So basically we go from here to here. Then from the center of the circle, the distance we are away from the center is still called the radius of the circle. However, when we move on the circumference of the circle, then we subtend an angle in the center of the circle, because we're not just moving on the circumference, we are also moving across an angle. So this angle is represented as theta, and the amount of length that we moved on the circumference of the circle is called the arc length. This arc length is represented with lowercase a. Therefore, we have a as arc length, r as the radius of the circle, and theta is the angle subtended. Now, arc length, radius of the circle, and angle subtended, they all have a relationship, and that relationship can be described with a formula. The formula is theta is equal to arc length divided by the radius of the circle. Remember, in order to apply this formula, the unit for arc length and radius has to be same, and when the units of arc length and radius will be same, theta units will be in number radians. Let's understand this with an example. Let's say we have a question where we are given the arc length is equal to 3 cm, radius is equal to 2 cm, and we are supposed to determine theta, that is the angle subtended. We know theta is arc length divided by radius, and arc length and radius, they have to be in same units. They're already given to us in same units, so all we have to do is just substitute the values. 3 divided by 2, which is 1.5. The units that we would put is going to be radians. Let's take up another example for the sake of practice. The question we are given is, if arc length is 10 cm, so this is the a value, angle subtended is 100 degrees, that is theta, find the radius of the circle. We know theta, arc length and radius are related with the formula theta is equal to arc length over radius. We are given arc length equal to 10 centimeters. We are given theta is equal to 100 degrees. Now we need to remember this thing that theta has to be number radians if we want to use this formula. So the first step is to change this degrees to number radians. And the relationship between degrees and number radians is, when we go from degrees to number radians, we divide by 57.3. And that we have learned in the previous lesson. So all we have to do is just divide 100 with 57.3, and that would give us 1.75 radians. Now once we have theta in radians, we have arc length in centimeters. We can apply this formula. So theta is equal to arc length divided by radius. Theta is 1.75. Arc length is given to us as 10. Radius is what we are looking for. All we have to do is just isolate r. So r would be equal to 10 divided by 1.75. When we put this on the calculator, we get 5.71 centimeters. The unit is going to be centimeters because arc length is given to us in centimeters. And we know the unit for arc length and radius has to be similar in order for theta to be used in radians. So this is how we get the radius when we are given the arc length and the angle subtended in a question. And this is how we apply this formula, theta is equal to arc length over radius.